Good evening, everybody. Nostalgia Goggles 4-3 here. Thanks so much for tuning in. We are about to take on the Detroit Pistons. So let's get right into it. There I am, yes. Sorry I'm late. Let's do this. Super Wednesday, right? My 2-year-old was resisting sleep, but I think we finally got there. My screen was still showing last night's date, yes. No, there is still a game tonight. Apologize about that. Last week's been a lot of stuff going on, so haven't had a chance to update, get more screenshots. Something I need to do in game after the games. After the games, I've been off dealing with other things. No worries, man. Life happens. Thank you. Appreciate your patience, and your patronage. That's the greatest. So Damon Stoudemire has come very close to surpassing Eric Murdoch's performance for the whole season. Certainly, he's had a much stronger start with these new lineups. Similarly, Tracy Murray, both of them, I think, have earned a slot in the starting lineup. Tell me, you're dying. You're trying to eat yogurt because it's healthy and good for you, and you hate it. You hate it so much. Yeah, I'll be honest with you. I'm a big fan of most dairy products. Like traditional yogurt, I can't do. Greek is okay. I actually really like Icelandic yogurt. If you have a chance to try that, you recommend. Speaking of recommending, the Retina Foundation of the Southwest is the charity we support tonight most nights. 10% of anything I make goes to them. They are, as it says, their leading research savings site, visioning a world without goggles, trying to find cures for macular degeneration, other causes of blindness. If you'd like to support them directly, you can do so as well. There's a link to do that in my Twitch profile and also in the YouTube description. You're eating Greek yogurt, Chobani. So Icelandic yogurt is almost not even yogurt. I would say it has more in common with cream cheese. It's the texture, yeah. Yeah, I know what you mean. But yeah, so when I have Icelandic yogurt, I actually don't eat it with a spoon. I usually like get crackers and spread it, almost like it's a cream cheese or something like that. Very good. It's more expensive, but it's also denser, so you don't eat as much in a serving. So I would recommend trying that. Well, the crowd showed up. The North representing. So I realized, Fitzgrace, I didn't do the math live on the air, but we won by 85 points exactly, both last night and 2 nights ago. Both NBA records, both season records for us. Try to slide the yogurt down your throat without it touching your tongue. We shouldn't really talk about basketball. Let's just talk about yogurt tonight. Nice, great defense. I love it. I mean, yogurt defense. No, it wasn't a foul. We forced a backcourt violation. All right. All right. Great start, Tracy Murray. Juking off Grant Hill. I get the feeling this is going to be a long game for Detroit. Dumars even looked resigned on that drive to the basket. As resigned as a 16-bit player, if you're. There you go, Damon. No, the fadeaway. Rarely works. I got greedy. What's bad use of stats? Oh. Oh. The other team hasn't. Whoa, Otis Thorpe. Throwing it down on us. If the other team hasn't even attempted a three, they shouldn't use that graphic. Indeed. Should write to the broadcast team. Whoa! The Matrix. That was cool. You're right. Yeah. How many months have we been playing this and we still find things to impress us? Well, we started in late October. So, I guess 4 full months. Like 4.5 months. Yeah, I gotta say, for as much as we rag on it and as much as it's, like, definitely showed its age, this is not a bad game. There you go, Jones. Making it pretty. Like, I can definitely see why I was so blown away by NBA Live 95 when it came out. When I was 9 years old. For a 20-plus-year-old game, this is solid. Indeed. There's honestly things I like better about this than 2K. Like, not even trolling, not even wearing nostalgia goggles. Ugh. Even the graphics are pretty good considering this is still SNES tech. Yeah, there's, like, very little... I mean, there's the, the intentional slow motion stuff, but there's almost no slowdown, and there's, 10 players on the court at any given time. It's pretty technically impressive. Murdoch, Rustbert, Ellis, Pinckney, and Wright. Yeah, so the first modern 2K game I played was 2K11, not when it was new. I tried it out a few years later, because, that's when I play games, just a few years later, at the risk of stating the obvious. Anyway, I just heard such, like, rave reviews of the Jordan Challenge in particular. I wanted to check it out. And, like, the presentation is top-notch. I mean, it really took me back to, watching the Bulls during this era, which was a pretty fun time to be a basketball fan. But then, like, it would do things like make you exactly recreate Jordan's statistics from given games. Like, there was the one from the 92 finals where he made, like 6 or 7 3-point shots and a half or something like that. And it was like, it didn't matter what else you did. Like, you could do other things that were contributing to the victory. You could win by more points than what happened in real life. But if you got 5 3-point shots instead of 6, you failed. It was just too prescriptive, too on the nose. I don't know. I'm sure the franchise mode wouldn't have been like that. Recently watching a video about the Saturn and its games, and you were horrified at how bad the first-gen sports games looked. So much worse than this. Yeah, this was this came out in 1995, so this was like, well, the PlayStation had been released already. For this game actually was released for the PlayStation, NBA Live 96, a little bit later. That would have been around the same time as the Saturn as well. So definitely very late. Yeah, if you look at the early EA Sports titles in the 16-bit era, like, they couldn't even fit all the NBA teams on. Like, the early ones were like Bulls versus Lakers in the NBA playoffs and stuff like that. And the reason it was the playoffs was because then they only had to program 16 teams instead of 27 at the time. So even for this game to have 29 teams and like real trades, this was the first year you could even trade bench players. But yeah, when the Saturn and PlayStation first came out, they definitely had not figured out how to make polygons look good. Respite for 3. Nope. Technically, you're talking about the NFL games, but still, it's impressive how good this game looks and plays, and how bad a 32-bit system looked. Indeed. Pinkney. Yes! Ed Pinkney! No! There you go, Respite. Get the... Not only were the games ugly, but they played poorly, too. Yeah. There you go. Murdoch, take that in. This is just painful. I was discussing with a friend recently, based on our conversations about favorite era of consoles, and he actually said that PS1 he has a soft spot for, because they hadn't figured out the rules yet. And there was just so much experimentation, and most of it didn't work and hasn't aged well at all, but the ones that have are just kind of magical, when they were still trying to figure out what a 3D video game even was or should be. And I can sort of see that perspective, but it's not... I'm thinking more of things I'd actually want to go back and play today. And 5th gen probably has fewer of those than maybe any other gen, at least post-NES. The hypothesis of the video was that the Saturn didn't fail because of the reasons we know, $500, rushed launch, Sega CD32X, etc., but because the games were really bad. You have a soft spot for it, too. Yeah. I mean, I don't think the games were bad. I mean, there's a lot of all-time classics. I think the US didn't get a lot of the best games. I also think that the games that were good weren't particularly mainstream at that point. Like the scrolling shooters, for example. It was not a great system for sports games, as you mentioned. Especially odd after the Genesis. Alright, we'll give this lineup a go. See how they do. So far, neither of the first two lineups have been anything to write home about. I went over the system's first-year lineup of games, and he was right. Terrible. As a Saturn owner, you remember having limited options, but you never extrapolated it out to consider a system-wide problem. It wasn't just you, it's that the quality of games was outright bad. All right. Solid passing. There we go. Yeah, I mean, I'll be honest. Like, every platform has its good games and its bad games, but I've never really been tempted to be a Saturn owner. I've owned several Genesis over the years, Dreamcast. Never a Saturn, though. All right, Muggsy, your time to shine. Take it in. There you go. Hot take. Horror games were more fun on the 5th gen because the graphics worked to enhance the game. Crisp, clean graphics have taken something away from horror games. I'll have to take your word for it. I've never been much for horror games. But it does make sense. I mean, technical limitations are what we're doing hot takes. I think that's part of why I tend to prefer somewhat older games. Like after our, I haven't owned a 360 in sometimes. Sorry, I'm getting away from the hot take, but just a little background. With all our conversations about wow, they are coming in strong with these 3-point shots. Sorry, I'm all over the place. Anyway, we were talking about our, games that just bring us joy to play. And so for kicks, I went back and logged in online and checked my old Xbox 360 gamer score. And I looked through all the games that I owned for the 360. And there's not a single one of them that I would describe as sparking joy for me. And I think part of that is the relative lack of limitation in system resources. Like I've read some about even how PS2 games were developed and the way that they had to like program the physics engine using Excel spreadsheets and like all this crazy stuff. And I think that was largely gone by the 7th gen. And I don't know, like I think about it the way some directors have described the rise of CG in filmmaking. Like Spielberg's famous quote, or I guess I don't know how famous it is, but he had said that if he made Jaws today, he would have put the shark in it about 6 times as much as he did in the 70s, and it would be 6 times less scary. And I think he's absolutely right. They had originally called for Muggsy. That originally called for more shark in the movie, but they just couldn't get the prop to work right. And so they improvised and they tried to figure out ways that they could make the film interesting without having as many scenes of the shark. And, it worked. Jaws is still a great movie. I think it still holds up, lives up to the hype. And I actually went into it expecting to hate it. I had thought there is no way. I was picturing like Jaws 4. Stories about that prop are amazing. Yeah. But I think that there's a lot of truth to the way that is with platforms like the PS1 and the Saturn, or even this, like these old systems where you really had to work with it. I was just reading recently about the guy who led the porting of NBA Jam TE to the PS1 as a launch title, and he said that they originally, well, for one thing, instead of making a court, the court is entirely made up of sprites in the PlayStation version, I guess, because it could handle 4,000 sprites on screen at once. And they decided it was easier rather than making a new background to just make it all sprites. And they didn't start from scratch. They like reprogrammed the tech demo that Sony had sent them. Said that the executable still actually had, very late in development, still had the name from the tech demo. That was only a +1 lineup. Not so great. Jaws gets a lot of hate because people blame it for the start of Blockbuster. The Jaws is awesome. Right. I mean, it's. I don't think we should blame Spielberg for what people did after him. Started blockbusters for a reason. And Davis. No, not Jones. Davis. That was one of those movies that you'll stop what you're doing and watch. Well, sure, I don't blame you. Should have not coming. I noticed Thorpe just watches. I don't know. Limitations definitely spur creativity. So when you got a PS1, graphical capabilities are limited. You have to be creative to make a horror game. These days, you just draw whatever you want. All right, gonna call for a pick. No need. Nice feed. Fundamentals. That's for you, Spitz the greatest. I know you like the fundamentals. Patron at our buy a bucket tier. Wow. Joe Dumars shooting great. .22, our largest lead of the game. .20, our second largest lead of the game. Oh. Oh, come on. Theo Ratliff making us look silly. Nope. Hey, back him down, Davis. Nope. Get that back, somebody. Respert. There you go. Take it in, buddy. Ah! That was a big mess of a possession all around. Our next one will be better. Get that out of there. Take it in, Damon. Stoudemire finishes strong. Great feed into Ellis. Yeah, last night's game when I was reviewing the tape, there were two... Oh, Jones! There were two separate 4-minute stretches in last night's game where the Cavs only scored 2 points. Not going that well tonight. Dale Ellis only has 38 points. What is the number of most consecutive games won during the regular season, and which team achieved that record? Well, I think that was actually broken in the 95-96 season by the Bulls, but was it 3? Yeah. Was the Lakers, what year was that? 69 Lakers, and I think it was 23 games in a row. But 3 is a solid guess. 3 is the number of patrons I have. Tim Troy, humanitarian philanthropist, Spits the Great, right here in person. Feel like you heard 21? I thought it was 23. I guess we'll find out. And Dr. Ambassador Dortmunder, thank you so much. Also, as a reminder, 10% of anything I make tonight goes to the Retina Foundation of the Southwest. Check them out. They do good stuff. All right, so we are now up by 25, and we were up 13, so that was plus 12. Best lineup so far tonight. Murdoch, Davis, Murray. Oh, that was Pinckney. Trying another full court shot. Reliving his glory days. Murdoch, Davis, Murray, Jones, and Wright. There we go. No. There's some hustle. I like it. Now Murray, after one basket, is on a hot streak. So that's interesting. It must do hot streaks calculated by position, not by player. Oh, missed the board. Okay, this is not going to be a three-point shooting lineup. What's frustrating? Missing the rebound? Yeah, it'd be one thing if I was, like, just missing it, but it seemed like I was lined up. Davis from way out. Nice. Home crowd liking that. I don't blame them. I'm really glad there's no illegal defense calls. Grant Hill just materializes out of nowhere. Our bench looking bored. Ho-hum. No one under the basket, only me, and yet the ball feels like it just wanders randomly through the air and I have no chance to catch it. There you go, Sharon. Take it again. No. All right. Somebody put the ball in the basket. Jones. Yes. It's going to be a long 4 minutes. At least we're doing well defensively. Oh. What's time? Still 2 more minutes. Nope. Brutal. Ugly. But I will take it. Shorter than the 3, but at least it went in. Should have just passed it out. Knew I was in trouble there. They've definitely closed the block shots. Yeah. I guess the thing that makes me happiest about the moves that we made at the trade deadline is that I feel like every position is contributing more now than they were. Like, you used to talk about our small forwards as being basically invisible, and I don't think any position is invisible anymore. Like, our point guards have been doing great perimeter defense. Our shooting guards are both new, and they're both outside shooting threats, which is helpful. Wow, I don't think I've actually been pushed out of bounds before. So that's a new one. Our bigs aren't just standing under the basket looking at the ball, careening off the ball. You know, that's the animation was that way, but they've generally been actually getting rebounds. I need to stop the clock. Should have called timeout on that last one, but. Yeah, so more rebounding from the bigs, more outside shooting from the wings. Everybody on the court is contributing at all times. I like it. Well, admittedly, a lot of this was the plan from all along. I even did the expansion draft with the intention of picking up some of these guys. You bust on him, but you really do feel more confident without Tony on the court. Well, I mean, you're right. Numbers agree with you. Sure. We were up 25 when that lineup went in, and now we are up 28. Hey, managed to grind out a +3 out of them. I will take that. Oof. Ran right into a blue wall. Not promising. Otis Thorpe comes out of nowhere. Never remember seeing Otis Thorpe move that quickly. There you go. Oh, slamming it down. Ed Pinckney, everybody. Get that out of there. All right, Muggsy. Time to make our patrons proud. Just shoot it! All right, that basket purchased for us by Tim Troy, humanitarian and philanthropist. Yeah, back to Massenburg. The only reason I even drafted him was to trade for Sharon Wright at the deadline. So, seems to have paid off. Oh, Muggsy. Should have just taken the clean shot. Don't telegraph it. Nice look. Not enough pick, too much roll on that one. Let's try that again. Muggsy, no. No, no, no. That's not your job. That's what we paid Dale Ellis for. real ugly air balls tonight indeed. I also do want to point out for whoever was watching that I did not tell Muggsy to shoot that 3-point shot. I probably will not tell Muggsy to shoot any more 3-point shots this season. The first few I told him to shoot didn't go so hot. All right, Muggsy, get one for Dortmunder here. Oh, come on. Muggsy. There we go. Half time. All right, 91-58. It's pretty good. Despite a horrific shooting percentage by both teams, really. All right, I said 23. Greatest said 21. 33. We're both wrong. And 72. Longest streak in the history of professional sports. There you go. I suppose that is like, what, 2 NFL seasons in a row. More than that. Up by 33. Makes that, what, a +5, something like that. Not great anyway. All right, sorry, Muggsy. That's it for you tonight. We got Stoudemire, Davis, Murray, Pinckney, Stang, and the other Davis. So as typical in the fourth quarter, we try out our 2 best performing lineups for the season. I don't like these little flashes of color. The adapter had been working better. Now I'm not sure what's going on. It's like the timeline's unstable and it's trying to correct itself. Reminds me of those old PlayStation commercials. I didn't realize, did you know that one of the PS2 commercials was actually directed by David Lynch? Oh. Yeah, that's what happens when you play the Pistons. You just get some knockdown, drag out, Bill Laimbeer's combat basketball. And then Grant Hill dunks on your head. Well, this is the first time this lineup has misfired. Through 4 games, they'd averaged almost 23 points. And it wasn't like they had one really big night and then a couple mediocre ones either. Oh. Brutal. Pinckney. Oh, yeah. That basket purchased for us by Dr. Ambassador Dortmunder. Thank you for your support. Nice, Davis. Oh, maybe this is a horror game. Maybe there's a horror Easter egg in here. It's trying to come out like Eternal Darkness style. Not sure what happened there. There you go, Davis. Throwing it down. Those are ugly field goal percentages. Ugly, ugly, ugly. Relatively low scoring game for us. Pistons have already come close to scoring what the Cavs scored at the end of the evening. Baseline jumper. That might be the first one I've taken on purpose this whole year. But the threes aren't falling. So it's Nostalgia Goggles 4-2. That was a dud. So their lineup doesn't change too much. Our second most successful lineup. Ellis and Jones come in. And Stoudemire, Davis, and Davis stay. Just a forward swap. Nice block. Ugh, doesn't matter though. Just keep giving them those third and fourth chance points. Announcer doesn't even finish his three, just gets drowned out by these Raptor fans. Oh no! No fast break layup for you, Lindsey Hunter. I threw the ball into the back of his head. I did, didn't I? Oh. Poor guy has a concussion. Yeah, I need to initiate some protocols. Man, Mark West didn't even try to block that one. What were you saying? When it isn't my night, it isn't my night. Oh, man. Let's try that again. No, no, no! Nice, Jones. So this one's been feeling more like the Jazz game, winning by a comfortable margin, but it's kind of slow and steady. No one lineup really dominated. Davis. Davis for three. Well, hopefully we don't get these guys in the first round of the playoffs. Haven't actually looked at the playoff picture recently. Yeah. Oh, there we go, Jones. That was nice. What assist? Didn't he block a shot or steal a pass or something? Maybe they credited Dumars with the assist. That looked nice. If only it had gone in. Nice. Good way to end. Dale Ellis, 52 points. When 52 points feels like an off night. Very few assists going on. Very few shots went in the basket. Well, they did spread it around a little bit more. No one else in double digits. A lot of people with decent shooting. Just not the main two. Tonight was kind of a mess. But again, we're coming off 2 consecutive 85-point victories. So, bound to have a mess here or there. And so I guess that's the other question is, was tonight's mess more interesting to watch? Or is it more interesting to watch when I blow them out? Wow, 33 points for Dumars. Great shooting, 60%. I did enjoy the part where Jones threw the ball into the backboard and then into the rim consecutively. That was fun. Enjoy it no matter what. Tonight was good because it was different. All right. Every game's a little bit different. Even the 2 nights where we won by 85, they both felt different. I don't even think it changed my quarter all that much. Yeah, we did a little better in the second, but a lot worse from 3 in the third. But then we slowed down, though. Yeah, we didn't take nearly as many as we normally. Now, if I was actually challenged, that would be cool. Let's not go crazy. There we go. There they were. Those two bricks into the side of the backboard and into the rim. Perfect. But that said, you wouldn't want to be challenged in 2K5. I don't even know how I do it. The difficulty is set all the way up. I don't believe, other than Antonio Davis, so let's take a quick look here. Maybe Muggsy, I don't know if he has or not, but I believe Antonio Davis is the only player on this team who ever played on an all-star team in his career. And this is only his second season, I think, and the all-star didn't come until his prime later on. I don't know, short of like actually throwing a game. Your guts. They're saying, what is this? Yogurt? Why are you eating yogurt? Grumble. There you go. I mean, you get a lot of the benefit from other fermented foods too. Like, do you like sauerkraut, kimchi, pickles that aren't made with vinegar? Let's see, so let's check out the conferences. No. Oh, it looks like we've clinched playoff appearances already. Nobody in the West has yet. Or maybe division. No, we're in the same division, so that doesn't make sense. That must be why we're highlighted. Cool. All right, so tomorrow night we'll be playing the number 2 seed. Possible preview of the Eastern Conference Finals. We've got Orlando, Chicago. Chicago has already lost more games than the real Chicago did for this point in the season. And Indiana, Washington, Boston, and Miami. Sure, it's way down there. So it looks like we want to face them. Funny, it doesn't tell you why you're highlighted. That was a new feature in 97. Yeah, indeed. Well, I mean, if we lost all the rest of our games, then we would still have, be a 55-win team. I think that's good enough to be in the playoffs. Yeah, so be 41 and 41 is 500. So 50 and 32. Yeah, I mean, we've already the 8th seed, if the playoffs started today, has already lost more games than we would if we lost all the rest of the season. We are clinched. Points per game. Ella's falling a tiny bit. That's all right. Minutes per game won't be us. Field goal percentage. Still dominating. I wonder if any of our former players are still up here. Nope. Rest your starters until playoffs. The thing is, I'm starting a different lineup every game. I don't know who they are. I was planning on sitting everybody from the starting lineups 7 games out, or maybe 5 games out. Do some load management. Wow, really? The 3-point leaderboard gets down to 40%? That's weird. Stoudemire surging back onto the leaderboard for block shots. That's exciting. Still number 2 for steals. And sadly, Muggsy has fallen off. When we acquired him, he was on the leaderboard for assists. No more. Thanks so much. Hope you feel better. Spit's the greatest. Digest that yogurt. Next week, we will be back, as you saw, playing the Knicks. So hope you have a great weekend. Hope to see you then.